Okay, in this video we're going to use the limit definition of the derivative to find the derivative of f of x equals the square root of 3x plus 4. So let's get started. So first of all, you definitely need to know the limit definition. So that says that f prime of x is equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of, and then we have this difference quotient. So it's f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Which is really just a slope formula. So we're taking the limit as h approaches 0 of a slope formula. And the function we're going to do this for is radical 3x plus 4. So first, we just kind of write it down. So it's going to be f prime of x is the limit as h approaches 0. So as long as I write h, I'm going to keep writing this limit statement. The limit as h approaches 0 of quantity. So it's f of x plus h. So every x I see in f of x, I'm replacing with the quantity x plus h. So it's radical 3, the quantity x plus h plus 4, minus the original f of x, so 3x plus 4, and then all divided by h. Okay, so when I see this, because I've done a lot of these problems, and eventually you will have too, I know that to solve this, I need to rationalize the numerator. So there's another video where I go into more detail about how I'm doing this, although I'm actually just going to show all the work here. What I want to do is multiply by the conjugate of the numerator, and then kind of mathematically it simplifies really nicely for us. So let's do that. So its limit as h approaches 0. It's going to look like I'm just rewriting it because I kind of am. So it's the original thing. So still with a minus there, divided by h. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this whole thing, that expression that I just wrote, by the quantity, the numerator with a plus in between the radicals. So it's the quantity 3 quantity x plus h plus 4 plus radical 3x plus 4, and then divided by. So this is a really clever form of 1. Like I'm multiplying by the thing over itself, which is definitely 1. So it'll change the way it looks, but it won't change the value, and that's the important part. And then when you do this, what happens is you never want to expand the denominator. That's a really bad idea. But in the numerator, if you look at it, if you replace radical 3 quantity x plus h plus 4 with a, and you replace radical 3x plus 4 with b, then in the numerator you just have a minus b times a plus b, which is going to be a squared minus b squared. It's like a really nice pattern. So this becomes the limit as h approaches 0. So we're doing that. So it's going to be the first thing squared. So it's this thing, and then squared, that's like a squared, and then minus the second thing, which is radical 3x plus 4, squared. So it's like a squared minus b squared. That will always happen when you rationalize the numerator. And then the denominator, we don't want to expand anything, so I'm just going to write h, and then the quantity, and then this thing. So when you rationalize the numerator, the only thing that changes is the sign in between the radicals. You can't change anything within the radicals, so watch out for that. I see a lot of people do that accidentally. I'm going to copy a bunch of this to the next page and keep going. Okay, so we're at this point. At this point, I think I'm just going to expand in the numerator, right? Like square those things, which basically means drop the radicals. Still writing h's though, so I still need the limit as h approaches 0. And then square that first thing, so we just get this, drop the radical. And then minus, square the second thing. I'm going to keep parentheses around it so that I remember to distribute the negative sign all the way through. And then the denominator did not change, so we're just going to rewrite it. These are, if you do a bunch of these, they become like a really routine calculation. When you're first doing them, it seems like a ton of work. At this point, I'm going to expand the numerator. So I'm basically not touching the denominator all that much. So I get 3x plus 3h plus 4, and then distribute the negative, so minus 3x minus 4 over the original denominator, or over our current denominator, I guess I should say. We get this. Okay, so now in the numerator, I'm going to go searching for like terms that I can cancel. So I have a 3x and a minus 3x. I have a plus 4 and a minus 4. That's good because at this stage, once I get to that simplifying, if anything that doesn't have an h with it is still there after I simplify, it means I did something wrong. So I have to go back and find what that is. But you can see the only thing that's left after I cancel is 3h, and that's good. So I'm out of room again, so I'm going to move to another page. So I'm going to rewrite this, get rid of the things that I canceled, just so it looks a little cleaner. So I have 3h over this denominator. And the whole idea here is now I can cancel the h in the numerator with the h in the denominator. So I'm going to cancel those. Let's rewrite it again. So there's still h's that I'm going to write, so I have to keep writing the limit as h approaches 0. 3 is my numerator now. My denominator becomes this. So the h canceled. At this stage, if I try to let h equal 0, it's going to work. Nothing bad is going to happen. So I'm going to actually do that. So I don't need to write limit anymore because I'm actually substituting 0 for h. So I didn't write an h anywhere in here. I don't need to write limit. And then if we simplify this, you can see that the first part of the denominator just becomes radical of 3x plus 4. The second part is also radical 3x plus 4. So there's 2 of those. So that means that f prime of x is 3 over 2 radical 3x plus 4. If you remember, the original function was radical 3x plus 4. And so we found the derivative, and that's what we were trying to do. All right, so that's the limit definition on a radical function. I hope you found this helpful, and good luck.